Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Headbangers Closet. It's your pal Brett here. So one thing I want to talk about in this video is just how amazing heavy metal fans are. I've been a heavy metal fan pretty much my entire life, and one thing that's, besides the music being awesome, one thing that's been a constant is just the overall sense of community that heavy metal fans have with each other. You see a guy walking in the mall and he's got a band shirt. You kind of just give him a nod, a look and a nod, and, just thumbs up and devil horns. And, the only thing else that kind of comes close to that is, sports teams, just people being fans of the same team or whatnot, but it's not quite the same. There's always that kind of just camaraderie with total strangers when you start talking about bands, heavy metal bands in particular. I don't see that with any other genre of music. And just heavy metal fans in general, just a really great group of people, nice, caring, loving, supportive of each other. Sure, we might look a little rough around the edges, and some of us might not bathe as often as we should. But for the most part, just heavy metal fans are just wonderful human beings, despite what kind of they look. The whole never judge a book by its cover kind of comes to mind when speaking about heavy metal fans, just because they're such caring, kind people for the most part. And that, kindness was on full display this past week. I put a picture on Twitter of Anthrax State of Euphoria. It was a Megaforce pressing that I bought online and paid a good bit of money for it, and it was shipped to me. So tracking, as it would be, I'm checking tracking quite often, and it was supposed to be delivered that day. Well, I work from home. I got kind of busy, and it was a few hours later before I remembered it was going to be delivered. So I went out to the mailbox, and I looked in the mailbox. The first thing I did was I look out the door. Usually the records are at my doorstep, but nothing. So didn't think it was coming that day. Thought it might have been a mistake. So I went out to the mailbox, and when I opened it up, there's what I saw was the record box folded in half. Now, I would say 80% of my records just come in that thin medium mail box. I've got one in the closet I should have brought down, but you guys know what I'm talking about. If you buy records online, you know what I'm talking about. It's just that thin box that'll just hold a record. And it was folded in half and slid in the mailbox, and it folded in half. It fit perfectly. So immediately I got pissed. I was like, what the hell is this? So I pull it out. The box is bent. There's a huge crease in the middle, both sides of the box. I get it in. The actual cover of the record was split right down the middle, or not split, but creased right down the middle, but the actual cover looked kind of salvageable. So when I put my hand inside the sleeve is when I first noticed something wasn't right. I could feel pieces. I pulled out the sleeve. It had the original insert. I pulled out the sleeve, and the Megaforce Records record was actually in half, in two pieces, split down the middle. And I know that the post office worker would have had to have heard a snap when it was put in there. So I was pissed. I flipped out. I called the post office, and I spoke to somebody, and they said, okay, we'll bring it in. You could get a claim. And, they asked where I lived. I gave my address. And they said, oh, that carrier that day was a substitute carrier, which I kind of figured because my mail carrier, the normal mail carrier, was a really nice lady. I've spoken to her many times. Like I said, I work from home, so I kind of meet her at the door a lot with the records. She always gets out, puts my mail in my mailbox, and brings any packages that don't fit in the mailbox to the door, and always does that with the records. She knows what they are. Like I said, I've met her before. We've talked at length about me being a record collector, and she's a really nice lady. And so when they said this was a substitute carrier that day, I kind of figured as much. So kind of skipping ahead right now, but I went down to the post office about 3 or 4 days later when I got some time. Went down to the post office. I brought the record with me. I filed a claim. They took the record back. I don't even know if that's standard procedure, but I was like, whatever, it's broken in half. I don't really want it. But if you want to see a picture of what it looked like, go to my Instagram page, Headbangers Closet. I put a picture. I will put a picture of the record there, as well as a link to this video. So anyway, I needed the Megaforce pressing to complete my State of Euphoria collection. This is a repress on Island Records. I want to say this is from the 90s, early 90s maybe, on Island Records. I could be wrong. There it is right there. So So anyhow, I needed that record to complete my collection. I was pretty bummed out about it, and on Twitter, I decided to post it on Twitter because there's a lot of people there that collect records like myself and heavy metal fans, and I posted on Twitter, and I've been on Twitter a long time, and I've never had a tweet or photo or anything like that kind of blow up like that. Like so many people that I follow and follow me, and just random people were commenting and how much it hurt their heart to see that record, and all heavy metal fans and then non-metal fans, just regular record collectors of like other genres of music, were chiming in about how horrible that was, and how the USPS is just garbage these days, and I couldn't agree more. And a lot of people were very helpful in how to go about getting it fixed, and that was actually before I brought it in. They were postal workers commenting and tweeting back at me about what to do. So I was pretty bummed out. And this one person, really nice person, didn't know if it was a man or woman at the time. Twitter handle is at Classic Rat News, I think, but it's Smirking Class Hero. This particular person tweeted at me, commented about how it was just terrible to see that great record treated that way, and I mentioned that I needed to complete my collection, and this person said, "Well, I've got a copy, and I'd be happy to send it to you in return for a T-shirt from." Old Head, which if you're not familiar with Old Head, I'm sure everybody watching this channel has to be familiar with Old Head. Awesome dude on YouTube, much like myself. He's way cooler than me. He's got a huge collection. He's a massive following on YouTube and on Instagram, Twitter. He does a podcast, number of podcasts. He has a radio show on AMP on Friday nights, which is really cool. If you have the AMP app on iPhone, check it out. It's awesome. Always posts basically like the set list, I guess, and rundown later on Friday nights after his show is over. But give that a listen to. You won't be disappointed. So this person wanted to trade the record to me for a T-shirt from Old Head. Now, I was going to buy the T-shirt, but I got messaging with this person, and he asked me to not mention his name, just by his Twitter handle, which is at Classic Rat News, I believe, Smirking Class Hero. So anyway, messaged me and said, "Look, I'll be happy to send this to you. Maybe just cover the shipping." So I paid him for the shipping and paid him a little extra money for have him ship me the record. So and I didn't really remember, or I kind of forgot about the Old Head T-shirt. So I just paid him the money, and he sent me the record. And this past week, it arrived. Here it is. This is a Megaforce Worldwide pressing. Really, really nice shape. There's the insert, lyrics, and there it is. Megaforce Records, Megaforce Worldwide. So very, very, very excited to have this in the collection. This is probably, I've said it before, it's my favorite Anthrax record, but I kind of go back and forth with it and Spreading the Disease. But I keep going back to this one as my favorite. So it's really important to me to have my favorite Anthrax record in the collection for kind of a first press, the Megaforce Records version. I've got the other one on, like I said, an Island. This is the anniversary right here on yellow and red. Let's kind of show you real quick. The record, it's got a lot of stuff in it. So basically, first one similar with the lyrics and the picture, the guys in the band. Here it is on yellow with the red swirl there, and then Anthrax. So that's really, really sharp looking. And then the other one, it's kind of like all these different kind of reviews to the album right here, and picture of the guys. And I think these aren't just reviews; they're just like things fans had to say about it. So I guess it's just reviews. This one's on red. So, but when I tweeted that picture and everybody kind of was commenting, it was one of those things that just kind of showed me how caring, heavy metal fans are. Everybody expressed, sadness and felt really sorry that happened to me. I'm just people going out of their way to just express how much that hurt them to see this great record treated that way, and then felt sorry for me that happened to me, because they know with a Megaforce record pressing, I'm going, I had to have dropped some money on it, and they're right. It's the anniversary right there. But this person, Smirking Class Hero, was super cool. Didn't have to do that. great record in his own collection. Didn't have to do that for me. And I don't, know whether he's got another one or not. It doesn't really matter to me. But I just thought that was like the nicest thing. Everybody was so nice. So when this album came in the mail, I decided to post an update on Twitter. And again, the tweet blew up. So many people commented, liked it, retweeted it, had a lot of nice things to say. Everybody expressed, I mean, there must have been like 50 comments expressing like how happy they were that the story had a happy ending. And people just say, that is so cool that someone did that for you. And just, once again, just kind of reinforces the idea that heavy metal community has each other's back. They're super caring of one another. They're super supportive. There's no other genre of music where the fans are like that with each other. It's just so amazing that the most aggressive, kind of almost hostile form of music has the most caring, loving, and generous fans and people. So I just wanted to say thank you to Working Class Hero. I'm going to send him a link to the video. And just want to say thank you to all the people on Twitter and on Instagram that have been super supportive of me over the last couple of years doing this. I don't have a lot of followers or subscribers, really, unlike a lot of these other people that are doing similar things to me. I'm just showing my collection and talking about the bands I love, and just really excited to interact with everybody on this platform and on Instagram. Instagram especially, because I'm on there way more than YouTube. But just want to show appreciation to everybody for just being so cool like these last couple of years. So anyway, thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. Working Class Hero, thank you so much. My State of Euphoria collection is now complete. My Anthrax collection is almost complete. Got a few more singles to go and one EP. And, of course, the new record when it comes out, I think maybe later this year. And then I will be showing my entire Anthrax discography on vinyl collection, which will probably take about a friggin' hour. But anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in. Once again, it's Working Class Hero. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Your generosity will never be forgotten. I can promise you that. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And I will have another video for you guys very soon. Cheers, everybody.